And good evening, everyone. My name is Brad. I'm the station manager here at WNYK 88.7 FM Warrior Radio, and we thank you all for tuning in tonight. And you guys are in for a treat. We have Greg Connors music in, and we're gonna hear some of their great songs. Very catchy guys. I've been playing them recently more than I had to. I've heard their music, and I'm like, I gotta keep playing this. It's really good, very catchy, and very different, which I like. I can appreciate. So we're gonna interview them. We're gonna hear some of their great music, and they're gonna even perform live here, and they even brought a double bass, which is the first time here at the hillside here, which is exciting for me. And so we're just going to give you guys some information about the Greg Connors music with the deceptively simple sound of an old country or blues record. Greg weaves a fresh, modern view of emotion and experience, winding them through dense branches in and out of darkness and diffused light. His own raw and vulnerable sound journey can do any listener a great service. And have you ever felt the limb snap? It may just be his dry wit. I love that sentence right there. And Connors has been making music and supporting slots for national as well as local acts in both Atlanta and NYC. He has awakened audience for the likes of John Mayer, who gets played a lot here, Joseph Arthur, Cat Power, Smoke Songs, Ohio, Palace Brothers, and Vic Chestnut. And then while it may be true that Greg Connors leads the group, there's a considerable number of times that the spotlight shines on his bandmates, Nick Attila and Scott Fragala. And from the awe-inspiring improvisational violin to the earth tone resonant double bass being plucked away with pinpoint accuracy. I just want to thank you guys again for coming in tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. And we're going to jump right in here, guys. We're going to get to some of your music, but first we want to find out some background information for you guys. This is a question for both you guys. Who are your biggest influences with music?
I would say really early on, my mom would play 45s,
Cool.
and I would hear things like Chuck Berry and Tallahassee Lassie and Elvis and the Everly Brothers. I would hear stuff like that early on, and it was kind of exciting in the way the 45s sounded. As time went on, there's more, I guess, lyrically based stuff like Bob Dylan or Leonard Cohen, that kind of thing. Really moved me early on. But Lou Reed, Velvet Underground, that kind of thing. Johnny Cash. I like Johnny Cash a lot.
Yeah, we play him a lot actually here too. Yeah,
it's fantastic. Yeah, but it's kind of been I like the sort of typical singer-songwriter thing, but I really liked De La Soul, 3 Feet High and Rising. That whole album really influenced me with its sense of irony, I guess, and really all kinds of things. At the end of the day. I told myself I wouldn't say at the end of the day, but all right.
Sometimes those cliches make sense, though, right?
They do.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Because here we are.
Yeah.
That's right.
What about you, Scott? Do you have biggest influence? Was it like you, or was it family driven younger, or would you just kind of find it on your own?
I'd say maybe Nirvana, Green Day, stuff like that.
Yeah.
The early stuff, and then John Coltrane, stuff like that, jazz,
Nirvana's a big one.
Yeah.
We had that. Actually, she's on our wall there, Trinity Rose. She did a version of "In the Pines," which on that song, the unplugged one is. Where Did You Sleep Last Night?
Yeah, that's
killer.
Is it a Leadbelly song?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a great song.
I did a show where I did all 3 versions. I started with Leadbelly, then I did Nirvana, and then I did Trinity Rose, and that's a classic.
Oh, I want to hear that. That's cool.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's neat. And how did you guys all meet?
Well, let me see.
It's mutual friends. We have these mutual friends. I would talk to a friend of ours, John, and he would say, "Yeah, I'm kind of hanging out with this guy Scott lately, and he's a musician," and he would try to sort of relate us. I think he himself likes music, this guy John, but he doesn't play any. So I think we were sort of these planets going around his head, and he was trying to make sense of music through knowing both Scott and I, maybe. And then at one point we just met like at a
Yeah,
Dunkin' Donuts.
We started hanging out. Is that?
Remember we met at the
started
parking
hanging
lot
out
in Hartsdale.
I said to myself, "Oh yeah, you play guitar. Let's hear it. You know,
And when was this? How long have you guys been?
let's hear what you got."
Maybe 3 or 4 years
ago,
ago.
I see.
3-4
Okay.
years
Yeah,
ago, something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And Scott took to recording right away. He's got like kind of a studio savviness, and you know, I've gotten very hesitant with music on you know, over the last few years. Like I was going sort of with gusto for a while, but Scott's kind of, well, and Nick as of late also is kind of brought a put some like interest or enthusiasm
I
back
see.
into the
Yeah.
whole thing, and
Yeah.
then working in the studio is a whole different thing than playing live, of course. So it's been enjoyable, and he's been pretty generous with his time and skills.
That he has.
And the songwriting process. That to me, that's people who write their own music. They find that inspiration. That's magic to me because I can't picture doing that. I enjoy writing, but I could never write a song. How does that work for you guys? Because that's a gift in and of itself, kind of thing, with the writing.
Thank you. Let's see. It's funny. This first one that we're gonna play. First, we were doing these farmers markets with Scott,
Yeah.
Nick, and
Okay,
I,
yeah.
and I wanted to write something. I immediately realized that they were actually much better musicians than I am. You know, I'm kind of I do what I do, but they speak in a certain language that
see.
I don't speak. So I set out with that song, for instance, to write something that would entertain them. And so musically, it was actually a culmination of several, because at one point we were like, let's just become a cover band to try to make some money and play around here.
Yeah.
But so I learned a couple of U2 songs, and then a Robin Hitchcock song, and then I think I copied some friend of mine I knew from Astoria, and then I made that. I just sort of took those chords, and I actually had to really I had it in mind, but I didn't really know how to play it, so I had to teach myself my own song on that one. And you know, lyrically, it's just kind of about how sometimes people change. Like your first impression isn't necessarily what it is, and then how. You know, there's different lines in there sort of meaning different things. There's sort of a fast-paced, quick assessment of people and the way interactions go, and then boom, it's not exactly that. But you know, you can't judge a book by its cover. I don't know. I guess I'm trying to figure it out. But the way that one worked, after practicing it a little bit, then I presented it to them. Scott takes it like More Close and More Strange, for instance. We then I kind of presented the song to you, and you made the bed, right?
Yes, I did. That's really all I'm good for, I think, is just kind of doing like these what do you call it? Yeah, a bed, I guess. Just kind of, I don't know. I'm best at playing a supporting
I see.
role,
Tying it all together.
you know, and
Yeah.
kind of like doing that kind of stuff. So,
Well, I know you heard
but
that it needed a certain bounce, or that's kind of what you brought to it when you made the bed. You know, I was kind of doing what I was doing with acoustic guitar and then showing, and
Right.
you kind of, the bed to me brought a certain snap to it.
I see.
You
right,
know.
and what Greg is talking about is just kind of making like adding, you know, maybe like some drums
Yeah.
and
Yep.
you know, keyboards and bass and what else?
There's a lot to it, but it all comes together.
Absolutely.
It really does. It kind of all meshes
Thank you.
together into a coherent piece.
Cool,
Which
nice.
is really neat, which we're going to hear now, guys. This first song we're going to hear is More Close Than More Strange. It's one of my favorites, actually. And then we're going to come back and they're going to do a live performance, which I'm really excited about. So once again, this is Brad, and we're listening. We have a treat here with Greg Connors Music in here, and we just thank you all for tuning in.
Passing the pickup, he whizzed by the arrivals. He doubled down before he left. Altogether, consumed with his survival and the degree of his bereft. I used to see him in town. Now he's never around. Stranger gets closer than stranger. More close than more strange. He was the most fashionable client in rehab. He was a popular guy. He laughed at my stories about evading the bar tabs. He put his arms around me when I'd cry. I used to see him in town, but now he's never around. Stranger gets closer than stranger. More close than more strange. When I'm talking to a young girl, I said I'm too old to recall. Then he does engage me about some song I did. He said the pain didn't hurt at all. I used to see him in town. Now he's never around. Stranger gets closer than stranger. More close than more strange. More close than more strange. More close than more strange. More close than more strange.
And we are back to the beautiful hillside of Nyack College. I just thank you all for tuning in tonight. It's a treat tonight as we're interviewing Greg Connors Music. I love their sound, guys. I hope you guys do too. And they're going to grace us with a couple of live performances now. The first song we're going to hear is Heading Home from a Funeral, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, and that will be followed by Boatyard. But take it away, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, this is called Heading Home from a Funeral. I first recorded it with Joseph Arthur at the helm. Then also we have a video, which Nick Attila filmed for us. But this is how it sounds right now. Moonlight shining through the gray boards of a barn. I was heading home from a funeral. I was off on a back road along the highway I'd been on. I missed my mother, but my father was still making all of her points. If you had been there, you'd have been such a hit. But you couldn't do it. The child and the fit of a cold brick. On a summer morning, you couldn't do it. The child and the fit of a cold brick. On a summer morning. If I could have made anything, you'd have brought it to the table. And then you'd say, hey Greg, that's in my way. Such an awkward fable for the young and the disabled mind. Didn't the drugs just catch momentum for the gain? On the light at the end of a tunnel turning out to be a train. But you couldn't do it. The child and the fit of a cold brick. On a summer morning, you couldn't do it. The child and the fit of a cold, cold brick. On a summer morning. So pardon me while I rescue a picture from a fireplace. In my dreams, my heart is haunting, escaping to flow and admire things. But in these nightmares, I'm just jealous of who you're on the rug with. But the truth is, you wanna see my arms, 'cause they're burning. You're like, I told you so, you should have removed your skin. You couldn't do it. The child and the fit of a cold brick. On a summer morning, you couldn't do it. The child and the fit of a cold, cold brick. On a summer morning.
Guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Live right in studio, guys. Thank you for doing that. We really appreciate it. And follow next is Boatyard, correct?
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah, this is this one came kind of quickly and furiously, but I thought it was finished, but then working with these guys, it actually wound up finishing. Is everything good with my distance here? Are the things all right? Fantastic. Okay, so this is I wrote this along the river, as a matter of fact. What? What? The other side of the river, up by Ossining Way, up by that, up the river. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Life adapts where it may. But you've gotta pay to get paid to walk away. And I wished you well. And you wished I was someone else. I don't envy younger men. His poem read. I can't remember when. He was twice my age. I was younger then, and he wished me well. Then he became something else. I've lived a life with many seasons. Tiny little place among the millions. But I'm passing time like a stranger in the boatyard. Throwing money at the abandoned once hard. I was just a prop at your ex's attempt at some avant-garde performance. Always late for your flight, and right on time for the turbulence. And I wished you well. And you wished I was someone else. And a life with many seasons. Tiny little place among the trillions. And I'm passing time like a stranger in the boatyard. Throwing money at the abandoned once hard. Woo! Life adapts where it may.
That was another great one, guys. Thanks for doing that. Really appreciate it. And you said that was written next to the river, across the river there?
Yeah, it was in Ossining. I was
Yeah,
walking around
it's a beautiful area too, yeah.
It is. I was walking around the boat yards over there, and I just sort of had this strange sort of dysfunctional platonic date that went on for about 3 days too long.
I see. Yeah.
And it was very odd. All these strange cornucopia of odd events kept happening, and it kept me both intrigued and disgusted. And I remained a party to it for a while.
Yeah.
But I mean, we both survived.
Yeah. And probably got stronger from it, right?
I think so.
Yeah, no, it's true.
So.
Once again, guys, we're back here with Greg Connors Music. Greg plays guitar, does vocals, and does some harmonica there too, which we'll get into. And also Scott, who does the double bass, which to me is a really neat sound. And that kind of leads into the next question, guys. How did you get started? Anybody can start. The Scott or Greg can go first. But how did you get started with your instruments?
like to say that let me see, the double bass. I remember there was this a friend of mine in high school.
Mm-hmm.
He was playing. He was playing the double bass, and we had both joined the high school jazz band. And I was playing the electric bass at the time, and then I heard him playing some like rhythm changes, which is kind of like you know that song, like I got rhythm.
Yep.
Music,
Yep.
that song. It's he was walking a bass line over rhythm changes, meaning the chord changes to that song, and a million songs have been written over that chord progression. So anyway, I said, "Man, what is that?" And he told me, and he just started hipping me to different jazz records and stuff, and after I got through my whole kind of punk rock phase type thing, and so does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. No, it totally does. It does answer that, because it's such a specialized instrument, sort of. You know what I mean? You don't see it a lot, which kind of it's neat, and it's a really distinctive sound. You know exactly what it is. And what about you, Greg, with the guitar and harmonica, especially the harmonica? Did that always seem like something you were going to get into, or is that
Yeah, it was. But I must say, Scott can probably play anything. He plays pretty much anything. He has like a natural.
That's a
music
gift,
thing.
man. That's a gift.
Nick. He has. Yeah, there's a certain thing.
Well,
I think. Let's see, harmonica. I had this. I went on this. I did a funny sort of prose piece about it with a picture on Instagram recently. Mm-hmm. But I had this great grandma Kaki who played all kinds of things. She played banjo and piano and organ, and harmonica, and she was an interesting lady. But she gave me my first. It was like a plastic Magnus organ that was kind of driven by. I think it had sort of an internal accordion, sort of. There was kind of
really
like a wind
neat.
sound, so it wasn't just like Casio keyboard, and there was something sort of natural about the way it sounded, like it was responsive, and it was like, and then I would see sheet music, and I would get very intimidated, and it didn't make any sense to me. But she had these books that went with this that were like Silent Night was 5 6 5 3, and I was like, oh, okay, I can do 5 6 5 3. Those weird little notes I don't get, but so that was something. There was like youth group leaders who encouraged me to play guitar and gave me one. Harmonica was probably partly a Neil Young or Dylan thing, but also that you can make a nice sound as long as you're sort of in the right key. You can kind of get away with making it sound decent. So that there's something about the easiness of that. I just kind of there's something about guitar that I never really will perfect that makes it attractive, that it's sort of uncomfortable to play, and I keep doing it, and I guess getting better at it.
Yeah, it's almost like a challenge that you'll never perfect. But
no, there's there's always somebody in quotes better or whatever, but no, there's a lot of people along the way who have kind of encouraged me to keep going in spite of what it sounded like sometimes.
And do you guys have favorite current musicians right now?
Current musicians, probably my favorite rock and roll band as of now is the Strokes.
Okay, yeah.
I really like them.
I could see that. Yeah.
And particular musicians, I don't know.
You don't, if you don't even have to have one. I think the Strokes works as a band. They have the thing I like about the Strokes is, at least I find when you hear them,
Yes.
You know, oh, it's like that's the Strokes, right? Like, you know, they have that.
There's a
sound.
signature.
Yeah.
to them, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
They've got
Yeah.
something that they all kind of.
And that's one of those often imitated, never duplicated things, I think.
Yeah.
You might try and, you know.
Yeah, yet there's components of it where you go, I hear their influence of this.
Yeah.
You know, there's a.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Everybody's been influenced by something, right?
Yeah.
I think it's true, and you can hear it in the music.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have a favorite one, Greg? Or
I just kind of, there's been different phases in
Yeah.
my life. Lately, I've really enjoyed Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds
Yeah.
stuff. I've liked his new things. I go back to Gillian Welsh and Dave Rawlings a lot of times, like just the simplicity of that I enjoy. Scott also has been working on this Sarah Connor hip hop thing, and I wound up just listening to that because it's been around. I
Yeah.
kind of listen to what's around
Nice.
a lot,
Yeah.
you know, and my friend Joseph Arthur, I listen to Pure Horsehair, my friend Garrett. So it's kind of, I like these sort of small things.
I see.
At work, I hear, not to imply that those are small things, but
No, I know what you mean, though.
not top 40.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
top
exactly.
40. Not even under the radar.
Yeah.
Indie stuff.
Yeah.
So much. Just I guess I'm liking hearing people I know lately.
Yeah. It's great music, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And we're going to talk about where you guys are going to be in a couple of days, actually, a local venue. But favorite venue for you guys so far? Was there a moment, like a venue where you're like, this is a really cool spot here? Besides this station right here, of course.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of. I'm a little blind. This actually is a really really beautiful place.
Yeah, we're lucky here with the-
It's so nice the way it's positioned.
Yeah.
It's up on the hill, and
Yeah.
you know, I'm not even looking at the most scenic view, but I feel like really it's like cozy
Yeah.
and lightning. It's lovely.
Yes.
We're gonna come back tomorrow and do this, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
But well, it was funny when I was about 18. I have this friend Scott Tapio, and we had this like little sort of artsy duo called Country Western Avant Garde, and we didn't really know what we were doing. We would do a lot of making up stuff, and it was like it was silly and kind of sensationalist, and we were just sort of, we didn't know necessarily how to play, but we had this concept. And then we had this other friend, Chloe Sweeney, who went to NYU, and she was sort of in with this whole thing. Anyway, we wound up getting these really cool gigs, like at the original CBGB's. We
Oh,
would
wow.
play there, and
That's a good answer right there.
Tonic.
Yeah.
You know, we
Yeah,
did
all
these
those-
weird
Yeah.
places that I didn't really get my head around how cool it was
Yeah.
at the time, and it was an experience. There were like ghosts there. It was
Yeah.
neat.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah, but I don't know. Last time we were at the Art Cafe, that was really cool.
It's a great spot.
It is.
No,
It is.
Good vibe. You just want a place with a good vibe, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
What about you, Scott? Do you have a memory of a venue that you guys played at that was really neat?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. I guess they're all good in their own right, kind of thing with you.
Yeah. I mean, some better than others,
Yeah.
you know, but like some worse
Yeah.
than others, you know. Let me think. I don't know. I think.
What do you think of Pete's Candy Store, Scott?
Pete's Candy Store?
Do you like
That
playing
place
there?
is awesome.
Yeah, that's a fun little place. Actually, I haven't
Where's
been
that?
there. No. That's in Williamsburg.
Oh, yeah.
In Brooklyn,
It's
and
like an old converted.
it's a converted train car.
Like rail car.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
so it's
cool.
like that's behind the bar, and it's got sort of a Pee-wee's Playhouse quality to
Yeah.
it. You know, there's like tables that were like from the train along the side, and this little stage, very do-it-yourself with a little mixing board on the
Yeah.
stage, sort of like nailed crudely against the wall, and
Minimal. Nothing wrong with minimalistic.
not at
right?
all, not at
Yeah.
all. And it's not some strange booking agent
Yeah.
making sure that you have 10 people so that everybody gets paid
I
except the
see.
band.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
not to, you know,
Yeah.
everybody's got to make money,
Yeah.
right? So yes.
That's it. I'll have to check that spot out.
Absolutely.
And we're going to hear, guys, another one of your songs from your CD.
Oh, terrific.
This one's called Where's My Windfall. Do you remember the story behind that one?
Actually, that guy I was in country western avant-garde with, I was on the phone with him. He's in Seattle, and I was saying, I was sort of complaining or going into morbid self-reflection about something, and I was kind of saying, where's the reward, where's this, where's my windfall? And he was like, that's a song right there, Where's My Windfall? And I just kind of went from there, and under the burden of potential, you know, there's something about that expectations is greater than the result thing. It's kind of all about that. It's all about happy mistakes or lucky mistakes, or however you want to call that. There's that kind of thing. I guess by the end of it, you just kind of realize it was a whole experience, and that the windfall happened. The very thing you were asking about actually happened.
So once again, guys, we're going to hear Where's My Windfall, and this is the Greg Connors Music, and you're listening to WNYK 88.7 FM Warrior Radio.
Where's my windfall? Under a burden of potential, and when you think that you've seen it all, you go and make yourself comfortable there down the hall. So this is it, it's the moment you've been waiting for. What do you know about what you've never seen before? Flimsy reed, pinball machine, hungry ghost, slot machine, it's your call. You hit a wall, took a smile, got second place. Were you a hero, or had you just won a race? A crooked walk, but with steady pace, gave me a gift from a basket case. So this is it, it's the moment you've been waiting for. What do you know about what you've never seen before? Flimsy reed, pinball machine, hungry ghost, slot machine, it's your call. You hit a wall. Side, black-eyed Susan. No, I don't remember the abbreviation. OMG, permeate partition. Yes, I do beg your pardon, not to be forgotten. So this is it. It's the moment you've been waiting for. What do you know about what you've never seen before? Flimsy reed, pinball machine, hungry ghost, slot machine, it's your call. You hit a wall.
And welcome back, everyone, to the beautiful hillside of Nyack College. We're once again joined by Greg Connors Music. Scott and Greg are here, and we really appreciate them coming out. They're going to play Death by Cop.
The cat's by the sink, near the cold coffee that you didn't drink. We ate well under copper pans, and then we played good to our 3 fans. Someplace I can't find. You really took me away from my own madness, man, you made my day. We hid out after they gave chase, the botched robbery, they caught my face. Someplace I can't find. So raise the revolver like there's something you can do, and maybe I'll hit one of you. You came to make it stop. It's a lot like death by cop. Raise the gun and close my eyes. I'm already gone. I hate goodbyes. Someplace I can't find. The barren trees and the dusty skies. The season pulled the wool over my eyes. Man, I'm not what I used to be. Like Cat and Joe Arthur's song, You Were Free. Someplace I can't find. Someplace I can't find. So raise the revolver like there's something you can do, and maybe I'll hit one of you. You came to make it stop. It's a lot like death by cop. Raise the gun and close my eyes. I'm already gone. I hate goodbyes. Someplace I can't find. Someplace I can't find.
And that was Death by Cop live in studio here, Greg Connors Music. So we're going to just ask you guys just a couple more questions. We're going to wrap up here soon, guys. We're going to hear another song from their album here. But if you guys, this is kind of a fun question, but kind of a hard answer. If you guys could have dinner with anyone, dead or alive, no, it doesn't have to be music. It can be, but anybody.
Yeah.
Who would it?
Yeah.
Who would it be?
I would probably have to say it would be, for me, he's dead, but maybe Thelonious Monk.
Yeah.
I'd probably have
That's
to
a
say
good
that.
one. That's a good one.
But I have a I have a feeling it might be a letdown because he probably just wouldn't say anything.
Yeah. That's a good. What about you, Greg? That's a good answer.
Yeah. Maybe Lenny Bruce. Or
That's a good one. You guys are breaking out the good answers for that one because that's a tough.
we would
Yeah.
probably all three, like Scott, Nick, and I would probably enjoy that where all three of us come together as the Rolling
Yeah.
Stones, or probably Nina Simone. Probably around those two things. I think if the three of us, if I were to assign a meal with the three of us, it would be with Nina Simone and the Rolling Stones. I think that's what we should do. Let's see if we can get to something.
Yeah.
So-
See what we can do here.
Do we have a publicist who can arrange such a thing?
Okay. Favorite musical memory so far for you guys? And you hope it, there's new ones coming, but so far for you guys. And it can go back years. It can go back. You were talking about how you done in like crazy venues near low. It doesn't have to be that, but just when you think back to that, you're like, oh, that was kind of cathartic moment there. Did you guys ever have that?
Wow. I don't know.
It's probably hard too because it might switch. You know, when you think of different things.
Yeah, and it's the kind of thing too where if I answer now, I'm gonna be laying down tonight at bed and go, no,
Yeah.
that was the one.
Yeah.
Do you have one off the top of your head, Scott?
Musical memory.
And it can be like 10 years old, can be 7. You know, it doesn't have to be anything too.
You know, there was a funny situation with this guy, Corey. We were at Coffee Labs in Terrytown the other couple weeks ago. And there's this dude, and I walked in, I was getting a coffee, and he was a couple people in front of us. You know, this was maybe an hour before we started over there, and he just started sort of giving opinions to the baristas and interjecting stuff, and I was kind of like, oh, this guy's interesting. I don't know if he's had a few drinks or whatever. And then he was something about the tattoos, and then he asked me if I had tattoos, and I was like, whoa, this is all going so quickly here, Corey. And then I realized that if I were to get a tattoo, it would probably be a praying mantis, and he found that very interesting. Anyway, he wound up sticking around for us playing, and, you know, there's a funny sort of thing when you're in that kind of venue that's not like an obvious show, and we're not on a stage, and we're kind of right there where you don't know, you know, are we performing or are we kind of in the living room with all these people, you know? And so this guy, he had certain challenges, but he was really sweet, and he was kind of just rapping with us in between each song. We'd finish up, and he was kind of talking. And
sounds like something you'll remember then. Like,
yeah. But it was like I saw the line where I was not sure if I was going to be impatient, but he had such a nice heart, and he actually, we have a YouTube of the recording with his banter in between.
Oh, that's cool.
And he brought a lot to it.
Yeah.
Just by being there, and it was one of those things where I could have gotten annoyed, but I actually embellished it.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It was.
So there you go. Is that yours too? Remember that your favorite musical memory too?
Probably not. But, favorite musical memory. Man, I don't know.
Well, here's to creating new ones. You know?
Here we go. Yeah. I remember seeing the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones at that's kind of a blast from the past, right?
Yeah.
At this place called 7 Willow Street. It was in Portchester, and I remember getting someone kind of jumping off the stage and smashing my face.
Wow. Yeah.
But
that's very memorable.
Maybe
that's not or not smashing my face, but just kind of smashing into me.
Yeah, and it sounds like something.
That's the only thing that kind of sticks out to me right
funny.
now. It's
funny
not,
how both
not
you guys
exactly.
Yeah,
not exactly.
I guess I wasn't
my favorite, but
no, but it made it memorable.
It made it
were you
memorable,
talking
yes.
of us? I wasn't sure if you were talking. If I was supposed to answer going to other shows or our
could be
shows,
anything. Honestly. No,
So
you
wow,
guys both answered it right.
Okay,
honestly.
good.
Nope.
Thank God.
There's no wrong way of doing that answer.
All right.
Honestly, that's totally fun. Lastly, this is kind of your chance. Some people will find this uncomfortable, but you got to try and do it. Get your, we're going to find your stuff. Where are you playing next?
Right.
Upcoming shows. Just let everybody know, because we have, our audience is growing, and a lot of them are local too. So what can they do to help you guys out?
Right. Well, this very Saturday from 9 to 11 here in your town at the Art Cafe in Nyack. We played there last month, and we're doing it again this Saturday, and the folks over there were so gracious with us. We don't have a huge following, and people who were just kind of happened to be there were really nice and listened, but did their thing, and it's a really nice place to play.
Yeah.
The room sounds good, and that was a lot. So we're gonna do that this Saturday. We're kind of all over the typical social media or web things. If you Google Greg Connors music, a lot of stuff comes up. If you Google just Greg Connors, it's like a golfer and an attorney in Massapequa, I think. I mean, that's good.
So Greg Connors music.
Greg Connors music, a lot of stuff. So it's, if you Google GregConnorsMusic.com, it'll go, I think, to the Reverb Nation thing.
I see.
We have physical copies that'll be on sale tomorrow, as well as on it's the 28th at Coffee Labs, right, Scott?
Yes, it is.
It's the 28th at Coffee Labs over in Terrytown.
Yeah, that's right across the river, guys.
Yep, right on the other side of the bridge. And so
it's all pretty local here.
we've been enjoying this coffee thing.
Yeah.
We like coffee, and it really works.
I could see that being a good vibe too, though. Just relaxing and not like, I don't know, just the atmosphere. I think you're gonna want to go to a place where you find peace at too, right? You know what I mean?
Absolutely,
Playing,
absolutely.
You're not gonna play well if
And
you're not happy to be there.
No,
And the
there's
coffee's good at both spots.
Yeah,
so,
it's actually exceptional at both spots.
Yeah.
And we've been doing some bars in the city and everything, and winds up being kind of a frenzy to get there, and then because of this and that, we're not really sure it's always worth our while. So we're probably gonna do that on special events, but right now this is kind of what the universe is handing to us, and so we'll have physical copies of Caught Up at both of those shows, Art Cafe on the 22nd, 28th at Coffee Labs, but then otherwise you can buy this on Bandcamp quite easily.
It is really good, guys. Really good music.
you, yeah.
Which kind of leads into the last little bit here. We're gonna end with Eskimo Motor Blues.
Yep.
Do you remember how that came to be?
Yes.
Kind of lead us out.
Well, I worked. It was. I think, I finally put it to paper recently. It's something that I kind of presented to Scott and Nick, sort of half finished, not really able to play it, but I knew the story, if you want to call it that, or the attitude of it. It was sort of this little slice of this summer. 2 summers ago, I was thinking back on where I was sort of working for this I had this irate landscape boss who was sort of always mad. And then there was sort of the element of unrequited love or unrequited interest or something. I don't know. So there was this sort of silly time in my life. I think it was probably before a lot of change. It was sort of the last time I had a feeling of innocence or youth. And then since then, I've really grown up and matured a lot. So I was able to document it.
Well, guys, the end of the interview. We really appreciate you guys tuning in.
Man, Brad, this has been so nice having us.
No,
here.
it's a
This has
blast. You
been
guys are
great.
always, don't feel like this is a one and done thing. If you're ever in the area again, or you have new music, or you're playing our cafe again or somewhere local, let us know. We'll plug it on social media.
Oh, that's so cool, Brad.
Nice.
Thank you.
You're always welcome back here, guys.
You've been wonderful.
We really
Generally,
appreciate
thank
it.
you.
And again, to close out, we're going to hear Eskimo Motor Blues. And I just thank you all for listening. WNYK 88.7 FM, Warrior Radio.
Can I stay another night? It's twilight beside a big igloo. Miss Eskimo, you call that and all the cars outside the bars. His goatee and his villainous ways spoke to me in the funniest sways.